Kerry, righto. Tyler, you're on.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to invite the multicultural staff to the table too. There might be Claire might be there, Sylvia might be there too, hopefully Viviana. Cool. So I'll take the report as read. The reason why I have staff here is actually because I wanted to introduce the amazing work that they do, and also to talk on the report around the welcoming communities and also the multicultural hub, which is a really exciting thing for this report. So excuse me if I'm a bit dusty, but in a brief overview of the report, I will take it as read, but there's a couple of notables in here. And one of them actually is, if you see 4.8, there is the Buddha's birthday celebration for world peace, where Venerable Abbas Manshin gave $50,000 to go towards the Christchurch Cathedral development. I just wanted to publicly thank them for the work that they've done in promoting interfaith peace and prosperity. There's a couple of other notables, particularly around the March 15 progressions and also the amazing work that all of our multicultural communities are doing across our city. Now, in the report, you'll see the events and celebrations. These are only some of the notable events. There's a lot more going on in our city, but it's really cool to be able to attend these events and show face at a council level. I would like to invite Claire to talk on the Welcoming Communities program, of which is in the recommendations that we've got here. When I was working at Selwyn in 2016, the Selwyn District Council bought into this project, and it was a really good thing for us to be able to welcome our communities. But please, Claire, invite yourself and the team.
Kia ora koutou, everybody. Claire Phillips. Just before I start, I'd just like to introduce Viviana Zanetti, who's our new multicultural advisor, and I'll just get her to introduce herself to you now.
Tēnā koutou katoa. So my name is Viviana Zanetti, and I'm in my third month as Community Development Advisor for Multiculturalism. My previous life, I was the manager of the Phillips Sound Community Hub, and I will be, yes, the Community Development Advisor for Multiculturalism, as well as the manager of the upcoming Multicultural Centre in Hartley Park.
And I think you know Sylvia as well, who's leaving us on Friday to go and work for the Waimakariri District Council. So this is Sylvia's last council meeting. So welcoming communities, I'm not sure whether you're familiar with that, but it's an MB-run initiative for local governments around New Zealand. It's a global initiative, but New Zealand has adopted the Welcoming Communities model across TLAs in the country. And we have been asked by MB to consider putting an expression of interest to becoming a welcoming community ourselves in Christchurch. Our neighbours are already signed up to the initiative, Selwyn and Waimakariri, and I think Huranui as well. So part of that process is to support newcomers to the city, and that's not just refugees and migrants. It's promoting and providing opportunities for people to get a sense of belonging, to feel welcome in their communities. And what comes with that program is $50,000 a year for 3 years to support the employment of a Welcoming Communities coordinator. We're pretty excited about the opportunity. I think it would go really well with the Multicultural Hub that we are hoping to have open in March officially next year, and that person would be a really good addition to the staff that'll be based down at the centre. It's an accreditation program, but it's not compulsory that you become accredited. And some of you might be familiar with the Safer Christchurch initiative that we belong to. We were a Pan-Pacific safe city that required us to be accredited, but MB have told us that not all TLAs around the country decide to go through that accreditation process. I don't personally think that we need to go through accreditation. We have a very strong strengthening communities strategy and also multicultural strategy, which I think leads Christchurch in that space anyway, without us having to become accredited. As part of the expression of interest, we need to speak with city decision makers and our key stakeholders as to whether or not they consider welcoming communities would be useful. And councillors, you're the last people we've spoken to. We've spoken with our treaty relations team, our Inform Interagency Network for Refugees and Migrants, a range of other stakeholders who have all unanimously said that they would love Christchurch to be part of that. So this process today is to get a decision from elected members as to whether or not you think that's a good idea, and then we would proceed with an expression of interest to MB, and they've signalled to us that it would be around October, November, that we could be up and running and having an additional person in the city doing that work.
Okay, thank you. Is there any questions, please? Okay, who would like to move this? Tim? Oh, sorry, of course he does. Sorry, I didn't see you there sitting behind me, mate. Who would like to second it? Thank you. Tyrone. Okay, so is there any debate? Sarah and then Yanni.
Thanks. I'd just like to pass on my thanks and congratulations to Councillor Harrison Hunt for the report. It's a really interesting overview of what's happening in the city and in the portfolio work, and I know it takes a substantial amount of time to do that. So thank you for that. It's really important that we get this overview. Cheers.
Yanni, please, Mark, and then Yanni, and then Mark. Sorry.
Yeah, I too wanted to acknowledge the work that Tyler has done on this as the portfolio holder, and also just to say that I'm incredibly supportive of the Welcoming Communities application. I had the privilege of attending a Filipino event that was kind of on a smaller scale of welcoming new people into our city who had come to work and live. And it was very, very apparent from that there are huge gaps in the way in which we welcome people to our city to ensure that, basic things like their human rights are respected, that they have access to housing, support, and I think there's just so much more we could do in that regard. So I think certainly people at that event did raise with me the desire for us to consider a welcoming communities city. And I'm really glad to see that this is now firmly on the agenda. I also just wanted to touch on the importance of the Pacific people's relationship. I feel for a long time as a city, we haven't given that as great a priority as it deserves. And I'm really heartened to see that there's some tangible recommendations to look at doing more in that space. I think the Pacific people have given a huge amount to our city over many decades, and it's really important that we work constructively with them over what we can do together to achieve and meet our obligations under the Local Government Act in regards to their wellbeing. So again, I look forward to that work progressing, and I thank the councillor and the staff for bringing these recommendations to us today.
Thank you, Mark.
Thanks.
Thank you. Just wanted to shout out the great mahi you do there, Councillor Harrison Hunt. Thank you for all you do with this multicultural portfolio. It's vitally important in our multicultural city where we're a big melting pot all working together. So really wanted to say a huge thank you to you for what you do, and really commend that welcoming as well. That's, I think, a great initiative, and look forward to seeing that land and help many land into our wonderful city that we've got here in Christchurch. And keep up your good work, mate.
Tyrone.
Kia ora. Like every 6 weeks or so, Phil, and sometimes Pauline, stands up at the town hall and welcomes new people coming, getting their New Zealand citizenship and choosing Christchurch to live in. And it's just mind-blowing how many different cultures and ethnicities are always represented there. So, we've just got, as Mark said, we've just got this tremendous melting pot here in Christchurch, and it's great that we have appointed one of our councillors to get out there and do that level of engagement, because I think for a lot of our ethnic communities, they do potentially struggle to engage with our council and with our local government setup. So it's really good that Tyler's getting out there and making those connections and doing an absolutely sterling job, going above and beyond. And anybody who follows him on social media will just see he's at everything all the time and really just making those relationships and building them. And what a stronger city we're going to have because of these different ethnicities joining us in Christchurch. Cheers.
Thank you very much. I'd just like, before I put the motion, I'd just like to say...
I can debate too, Phil. Close.
Sorry.
That's right. After you.
Sorry, mate. Yep, you go.
After you,
Sorry,
either
no.
brother.
I'll just say I've been down to Hagley Park, and we were there at Christmas time. It was a good building then, and if you're doing it up, it's going to be damn sight better, and it's going to be a real asset to the multicultural group. And they've finally got a place that you can call home, which is very, very special. So thank you, Tyler.
Kia ora. There's a few notes I want to make here, and first of all, I just wanted to acknowledge the work that our old councillor Jimmy Chen did in this space. Mm-hmm. And every time I do go to these events, whenever I attend these events, Jimmy's name is always brought up. So I just want to acknowledge him and the amazing mahi that he's done. And it's a real honour to be able to represent our multicultural communities in our city. And when I first got gifted this portfolio, I was really excited. But I knew the challenges that lay ahead. And one of the challenges has always been around identity. And being a father of a bicultural treasure, who is Ngāti Pakistani and also of Māori descent, it's also it's really nice, and it's a privilege and an honour to be able to try and uphold the mana of our multicultural community and continue to give them a voice at the council table. Now, this portfolio is really beneficial for me, but also beneficial for a lot of communities who feel like they have someone to go to, such as our old councillor Jimmy Chen. I also wanted to acknowledge the amazing work that staff did in helping me collate this report and continue to provide advice when I need it so dearly in a lot of spaces that we see in front of us today. I'm also excited to see the Multicultural Hub coming up very, very soon. And there was a youth audit just completed last Sunday where there was a lot of feedback, which was fantastic. So thank you, Claire. Thank you, Viviana, and thank you, Sylvia, for all of your work in this space. I really appreciate it. The youth report will be coming in due time. As you know, the youth space is very big too, and there's a lot going on in that space too. So thank you very much, everyone, for the opportunity, and I'm looking forward to continuing the amazing mahi that we're doing in this space. Kia ora.
Good work. Thank you, Tyler, and all the team. So with that, I will put the motion. All those in favour? Right. Against? Absolutely carried. So well done, everybody. Thank you. So now we will go to item